Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 88. It is Sunday, September 29th, 2013. In case you didn't know the year and you've been living under a log, I have a co-host today. This is Miss Bella, if you're just tuning in. She appears on and off whenever she feels like it. And today she feels like saying hello again. Second week in a row, we're on a roll. So, say hi. What you got to say today, Bella? What you got to say? She has been, not to go off on a tangent about my cat, but she's super itchy. I don't know, change of weather. She's just been, now she's being mush. But lately she's just been super itchy. I don't know what that's about, but okay. Now I've got a podcast to do. You can't go all cutesy ootsy on me. Mwah, I love you. But anyway, knitting podcast. Okay. Yeah, if you are just tuning in, thanks for checking my show out, and if you are a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. I hope everyone is enjoying this. It's getting progressively chillier officially, although this weekend has been beautiful. Wow, I apologize, guys. I've been just all over the place this weekend, cleaning, cooking, by choice. I don't have to, but I just enjoy it. And then finally, when I have time to sit down and podcast, I'm just kind of like, whoa, hey. But anyway, yes. Not so much to show you on the knitting front this week, but I have been knitting like a mad woman. So let's get on to what's on the needles. Nothing is off the needles this week. I'm not surprised. Neither should you be. But anyway, if you watched last week's episode, I mentioned that I'm working on a collaborative project with Lisa from Roman Hills. She's a hand dyer. She's actually my neighbor. She's a wonderful, wonderful hand dyer. And it's kind of on the DL right now. I can't really talk too much about it, but we are working on a collaborative project in which I get to design 2 patterns. I could probably design more, but the deadline is so tight. We have to have all our patterns in by the beginning of November. So I've just been at it. I woke up early yesterday and I just designed, I buckled down like 7 a.m. and I just designed this whole pattern, and I'm very proud of it, and I wish I could share it with you. But the only thing I can share with you, I didn't get the green light yet, so I may be able to show you next episode, but for this episode, I'm just going to show you the yarn that I'm working with. And this is all the projects that we're doing on this project. All the patterns that we are designing for this project are to be done with her hand dyes, and she gave me, this is her, let me see, Gisborne Savonnaise. So obviously Savonnaise is like a wine, so it's a very winey color. It's lovely and it's squishy and it's, oh my gosh, this, I have to say, I've been knitting with this for like the past 2 days straight, and it's just like butter through my hands. And I believe it is, oh, is it DK? It's 100% superwash merino, and it's like a DK worsted. I believe it's a DK, but so far it's just been such a pleasure to work with. And she gave me 3 skeins of this, and there's 204 yards per skein. If you just get a look at that. I will post a link to her Etsy shop. The only thing, Lisa is rebranding. I don't know the full details yet, but I will post a link to her Etsy shop and a link to her Ravelry where you can check out all her stuff. She has the wildest sense of humor, and she names them all, you know, not just 7As, but like she has these other colorways that are just to die for. I'll just put it that way. So I've just been really enjoying working with this lately. And she also, for my other project, sorry guys if I seem nasally, this whole past week, I'm just getting over a cold. I know last week I mentioned that my allergies were attacking me, but this week, but it actually turned out I got sick. I got sick. Yeah. Something wicked has been going around. My whole office was sick. Everyone left work early, and I stuck it out. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know, but I stuck it out at work, and I was just sick and miserable, stuffy. But now all is well. I mean, I'm just kind of getting over it. Like my nasal passages are still a little congested, but I'm okay. It's all good. I've been ODing on the airborne and taking lots of vitamin C, echinacea, popping the Rocolas. We're all good. But where was I? So this is for one project that I'm working on, one pattern that I've designed. The second pattern, which I showed you the beginnings of last week, I showed you the two colors, the green and the white and the gray. That was a prototype. I was using Knit Picks palette. I believe it was like their edamame. Wish I could get it, but it's in the other room. But it's dead to me. I'm I'm very excited about the colors that Lisa gave me. Which I can, sorry about the crinkling, guys. I should have opened this beforehand, but she gave me a bear skein, undyed, very lovely and squishy. And then, let me see, this one. Oh my goodness, I'm smitten with this color. It looks more lime green than it really is. This camera isn't doing it justice, but you can read it. It is. Focus. There we go. 400 yards of her Michelson, and 100% superwash merino fingering. Spring at Pemberley, Austin #4. She does these amazing like themed colorways. She had one for Downton Abbey. This is obviously her Jane Austen line. Again, awesome. But yeah, so I'm waiting for her to dye. She's dyeing a gray version of this, so I'm just waiting until I get it, and then I can cast on and have fun. So yeah, really squishy. I cannot, yeah, words cannot describe, basically. So that's the top secret project that I'm working on. I'm kicking myself that I can't show you what I've been working on. With the 7As, it's I'll tell you, it's lots of cables that I'm again knitting with, that I have, not to mention that I'm already cabling up the wazoo with Vivian, my Vivian cardigan, which I haven't had time to work on. Oh, it drives me crazy that I haven't had time to work on it, because it's not going to get done for Rhinebeck. It really isn't. But something's got to get done before Rhinebeck. Something. I will have something for Rhinebeck. If it's maybe I'll just wear my palm to pin, because I think that was originally supposed to be last year's Rhinebeck sweater and never ended up getting finished. So maybe that'll be this year's. Okay. Problem solved. Crisis averted. I will have a Rhinebeck sweater. Last year I showed up with my Color Affection shawl, but it was so warm. It had to be about 80 degrees last year at Rhinebeck, so I don't want it to be cold, not too cold, but cold enough or chilly enough where it's like I can wear a sweater and wear it and be proud of what I've knit, that type of thing. But I don't want it to be like bone chilling cold like it was a couple of years ago. But that said, yeah. But also on the needles, again, like I've been plowing away at these projects that I haven't had time to like work on anything else. So, which is why I waited again until Sunday evening so I can have something to show you. But I do have something to show you because I've been working there. I'll just get it. Okay, hang on. Everything's buried under here. Okay. As you know, last week I showed you my finished parade sock. So, one down. And this is where I'm at with the second sock. And I've just been, basically catching up on podcasts. What have I been watching? Today I caught up with the Knit Girls, Snappy Stitches, Silly Frou. What's the name of her podcast? I cannot remember it for the life of me. I hate when that happens. Checking out podcast lists. Sassy Pants Knitter. She's awesome. It's K-Star I caught up with. Laura Jinx Yarns. The Dyer's Notebook is her show. Who else? Karen from Round the Twist. And I have to catch up on all my audio podcasts. I know. I'm horrible. I've just gotten into the habit of watching things while I knit. So, I have a lot of catching up to do. There's so many podcasts out there. I just don't have time. But I've been trying to spread it out where it's like, okay, one day I'll catch up with one podcast, another day I'll catch up with another, and so yeah. So that's been my method of madness. But again, yeah, these are my parade socks, which I was inspired to cast on from watching the Snappy Stitches podcast with Chrissy. And you can, again, like the yarn is Jinx Yarn, her glitz sock base, and the colorway is Aquarium. So it's got a little bit of a glitz to it. If you can see, it's not like overkill glitz, but it's just enough where it's like, ooh, I've got some glitzy socks. So yeah, and I like I actually I think it was coming, guys. The bubba was coming. So and that was it. So but yeah, as I said, knitting this sock pattern and kind of like, well, I love the way it turned out on this one. I'm kind of like, as I'm knitting it, I'm just kind of wishing that I had cast on a pair with a more neutral colorway, like a beige or gray or like a heathery. So I've been kind of browsing knit picks and stuff like that for some of their stroll line, and just I know they have a new line out with what is it, like they have a tweed sock line now, or fingering weight. So I've been looking at that and maybe contemplating knitting a pair for Dennis. So we'll see. But yeah, on to the next segment. Wow, this is a really short episode, guys. I apologize. But here we are at Num. And I do have a recipe to share with you, so yay! Yesterday I actually whipped out the crock pot, and I'm loving the fact that it's crock pot season. Not that summer isn't crock pot season, but it's like when you think of crock pot, you think of, just dump it all in the pot, get cozy, and wait for it to be ready. Yeah, so yesterday I looked up a recipe uh, on Pinterest, like I do, and came across this chicken vindaloo recipe. Chicken vindaloo is an Indian dish, in case you weren't familiar. It's super, super, super spicy usually. Me and the mister, we love spicy food, so I was all about that. And usually when I cook Indian food, I make this chicken tikka, which Dennis loves and I love, but it's like when I eat it, for some reason, I don't know, the acids or it's too watery, and I just end up feeling bleh after I eat it. I don't know. I can't handle the stomach acids or something. I don't know, but it's not my favorite. And I was determined to find like a new recipe that we both could enjoy. So we love Indian food, so I hopped on, we were in the mood for Indian food, so I hopped on Pinterest and looked up all these recipes and came across this really delicious recipe, which is why I'm talking about it, because it's delicious. But yeah, so it came out pretty good. I really enjoyed it. Dennis really loved it. We had some leftovers, and it wasn't as spicy as I thought it would be. And it wasn't like when you go to a restaurant and normally when you order chicken vindaloo, it's like this dark orangey red, and what have you. But this turned out a little bit, not. It turned out not as I expected it to. It was a little yellower, a little on the green side, I guess, depending on the region of India, wherever this recipe came from. I found it on a blog. Again, I will post a link, but it turned out really well, and I will definitely be making this again. And I'll post a photo in the show so you know what I'm talking about and not just going by my description. But anyway, the recipe originally did not call for, but I added some eggplant and some chickpeas. So the original recipe was just all about the sauce. What is it? It calls for a lot of onion, in which you puree in the blender, in the food processor, and then you create a paste with like ginger, coriander, what was it? I don't know, but a lot of spices, which again, check out the link if you're curious, but surprisingly it did not call for curry. So, it's not, your typical Indian dish. It is very like beyond if you're not familiar with Indian food, cuisine, it stretches beyond like the curry if you think of Indian food, when someone says Indian food and you automatically think of curry, no, this is really good. You should check it out. In other news, nothing really to speak of, other than tonight is the series finale of Breaking Bad. I feel this is a historic event of sorts. I don't know. I can't think of another show except maybe Friends. I don't know. But no, this is bigger. I can't think of another show that everyone was so gung ho or stoked to watch. Yeah, so I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch it. I don't know. Like I bought a season pass on iTunes, so we've been catching up with that. We've been catching up with, we're up to date on what's happened up until now, and I won't spoil anything for you, but they usually don't post on iTunes or Apple TV. They don't post the latest episode until a day after it's actually aired. And me and Dennis are kind of freaking out about that. We're like, are they going to release it earlier, or are we going to have to crash somebody's Breaking Bad party tonight? So he's at band practice right now, and I don't know. I don't know. Like, he's gonna be like, yeah, come on, get in the car. We're gonna go over to some friend's place and watch the show. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I currently have dinner happening right now, so we're gonna have to eat first. I don't know. No, I can just bring the crab pot over. It's fine. Whatever. I don't know what's gonna happen. Decisions. Anyway, very excited, clearly. But anyway, I hope everybody who can watch it tonight enjoys it. Don't spoil it tomorrow, but I'm assuming when I post this podcast, it's gonna be long gone. But anyway, I'm just if I don't get to see it tonight, I'm just not even gonna go on social media. I'm not gonna go on Facebook because I don't want it to be spoiled. I know, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what's major in my life right now. Yeah, that said, I hope everyone had a wonderful nitty weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful nitty week ahead of you. And as always, I love hearing from you. Thank you so much for letting me know how much you enjoy the show on Twitter, Ravelry. We're almost at 200 likes on Facebook, so yay! Guys, you're awesome. Thank you so much. That said, have a great week. Happy knitting. Bye.